Then here is a fact, said General Minnie. Our long-range sensors have detected unusual energy readings at the exact spot where the human ship appeared. Something is happening there. Back on the Defiant, Lieutenant Jin had made an important discovery. Commander, I've managed to access more of their information network, she said. The Empire spans thousands of star systems, but they've never met another advanced species before. They thought they were alone in the universe. Park looked surprised. That explains their fear. They've never done this before. First contact with aliens. There's more, Jin continued. Their society is very old and stable. They've had the same government for over 10,000 years. No wonder they're scared of change, said Officer Lee. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. Multiple ships approaching at high speed, called Lee. They're on an attack vector. Park took her command chair. Shields to maximum. Prepare defensive systems only. On her screen, she could see 5 Imperial ships breaking from the main group. They moved with purpose, weapons glowing. They're powering up something big. Warned. Lee. Park opened a channel. Imperial vessels, this is Commander Park. We have no hostile intent. Please stand down. No response came. Instead, the 5 ships fired at once. Bright beams of energy struck the Defiant's shields, which flared brilliantly. Under the assault. Shields holding at 92%, reported Kim, but they're preparing to fire again. Target their weapon systems only, ordered Park. Disable, don't destroy. The Defiant responded with precise energy pulses. 4 of the attacking ships went dark immediately, their systems overloaded. The 5th managed to fire again before it too was disabled. In the Imperial Command Center, Admiral June watched in horror. The human ship neutralized an entire attack squadron in seconds, he reported to the Emperor. No casualties, but all 5 ships are completely disabled. Minister Su studied the sensor readings. Look at the precision of their response. They specifically targeted weapon systems only. They could have destroyed those ships, but chose not to. Emperor Tay stood silently, watching the replay of the brief battle. General Min, did you authorize that attack? He asked, his voice dangerously quiet. The general stood tall. I did what was necessary for our security. The humans could have destroyed those ships and everyone on them. The Emperor cut in. Instead, they showed restraint. Again. Your Majesty, said Master Han urgently. The anomaly where the human ship appeared is growing larger. Our scientists report it could be a doorway, perhaps for more human ships. The Emperor's 4 eyes narrowed. If that's true, then we need to understand these humans quickly, before more arrive. On the Defiant, Park sent a message to all Imperial ships. This is Commander Park. We defended ourselves as needed, but we still seek peaceful contact. We are one ship, lost far from home. Please let us talk. The response came not from the ships around them, but from the Imperial capital itself. Commander Park, came a new voice, deeper and more formal than any they'd heard before. I am Emperor Tay of the Stellar Empire. Perhaps it is time we spoke directly. Lieutenant Jin's fingers moved quickly over her console as she worked deep into the night shift. The lights on the Defiance bridge were dimmed, with only a few officers on duty, while Commander Park rested in her quarters. Got it, Jin whispered to herself as she finally broke through another layer of Imperial security protocols. Information began flowing across her screen, military deployments, communication logs, and most importantly, internal reports about the human ship. She tapped her comm badge. Jin to Commander Park, I'm sorry to wake you, but you need to see this. 10 minutes later, Park stood beside Jin's station, reading the translated Imperial reports with growing concern. So they think we're the first wave of an invasion, Park said, rubbing her tired eyes. And this anomaly we came through? They believe it's growing? Jin nodded. According to their scientists, the dimensional rift that brought us here is expanding. They fear more human ships might come through. Which is why they're gathering such a massive fleet, Park concluded. They're preparing for war against an enemy that doesn't exist. Across space in the gleaming towers of the Imperial capital, Science Minister Sue worked alone in her laboratory. Holographic displays showed detailed scans of the Defiant from every angle. Fascinating, she muttered as she studied the human ship's design. Their approach to energy management is completely different from ours. A door slid open behind her. She quickly shut down several displays before turning to face the newcomer. "General Min," she said coldly, "my laboratory is restricted during active research." The general ignored her protest. "What have you learned about the human vessel?" Sue hesitated, then gestured to the remaining displays. Their technology followed a different evolutionary path than ours. Where we mastered gravity manipulation and crystal energy storage, they developed advanced nuclear fusion and quantum computing. "Weaknesses?" the general asked bluntly. "I wouldn't call their different technological approach a weakness." Sue replied carefully. "Just different. Their shields operate on principles we haven't explored." Min's eyes narrowed. "The Emperor grows too cautious. One ship has the entire empire terrified. We should strike now, with everything we have. And risk starting a war with a civilization we know nothing about?" Sue challenged. "Better than waiting for their invasion fleet," Min growled before stalking out. Once alone, Sue activated a secure channel to the Emperor's private quarters. "Your Majesty, we have a problem." On the Defiant, Commander Park called her senior officers together. "We need to correct this misunderstanding before it escalates further," she told them. "Lieutenant Jin has discovered that the Empire believes we're advanced scouts for an invasion force." Security Chief Song frowned. "Because of the rift? Can we close it?" Lieutenant Kim shook his head. "Not from this side, and our attempts to study it have probably made them more suspicious." "Then we need to convince them of our true intentions," Park decided. "Officer Yoon, prepare a detailed message explaining how we accidentally crossed into their space. Include our star charts showing Earth's location relative to the rift." "Will they believe us?" Song asked. "I don't know," Park admitted. "But we have to try." In the shadows of the Imperial Palace, Master Han met with 3 hooded figures in a small, secure room. "The prophecy is clear," the old advisor insisted. "First comes the Herald ship, then come the destroyers. We cannot wait for the Emperor to act." One of the hooded figures spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "What do you propose?" "I have loyal captains in the fleet," Han replied. "And I have this." He placed a small crystal device on the table. A computer virus designed to penetrate the human ship. A lone human battleship drifted through the stars. The HSS Defiant was far from home. No one on board knew where they were. Commander Park stood tall on the bridge. Her dark eyes scanned the unfamiliar stars outside the large window. Her hands gripped the rail as the ship moved silently forward. "Something is wrong," she said. Her voice was calm but firm. "These stars don't match our maps." Lieutenant Kim looked up from his screen. His face showed worry as his fingers moved quickly over the controls. "You're right, Commander. We can't find any known star patterns. The wormhole must have taken us somewhere new." Just hours ago, the Defiant had been on a normal patrol mission. Then came the bright flash of light. The ship shook. When it was over, they were here, wherever here was. Officer Lee suddenly called out from his station. "Commander, I'm picking up ships ahead." Park turned to the main screen. "Show me." The view changed to show space ahead of them. Several strange ships appeared. They were unlike any human vessel. They looked like they were made of blue crystal, with smooth curves and glowing lines along their sides. "They're moving to surround us," said Lee. "But keeping their distance." Park nodded. "Let's not look threatening. Power down weapons, but keep shields up." "Should we try to talk to them?" asked Communications Officer Yoon. "Yes. Send messages on all channels, make it clear we come in peace." Far away in the heart of the Stellar Empire, news of the strange ship spread quickly. Emperor Tay sat on his throne, listening to his advisors argue. "The ship appeared out of nowhere," said Admiral June. His scaled skin reflected the light as he pointed to a hologram of the Defiant. Its power readings are off the charts. Nothing in our fleet compares to it. Master Han, the Emperor's oldest advisor, shuffled forward. In his thin hands, he held ancient scrolls. Your Majesty, the old writings speak of this day. Destroyers from beyond the void will come. We must act quickly. Emperor Te raised a hand for silence. His 4 eyes blinked slowly as he thought. If they wanted to attack, they would have done so already, he said. Send ships to watch them. Learn everything you can about these. What do they call themselves? Humans, Your Majesty, said Minister Su. Their messages say they are human, from a place called Earth. Back on the Defiant, Park watched as more Imperial ships arrived. Their numbers grew by the hour. They're afraid of us, said Security Chief Song. Look how they position themselves. They're ready to attack if we make any wrong move. Park nodded. Wouldn't you be scared if a strange ship appeared in your space? We need to show them we're not a threat. The ship's computer announced, Commander, I've made progress understanding their language. I can translate basic messages now. Good, said Park. Send them our first contact package. Basic information about humans, our culture, images of Earth. Nothing about our military or technology. Officer Yoon worked at her station. Message prepared, sending now. Minutes passed in tense silence. Then a response came. Incoming transmission, said Yoon. They want to speak with you directly. The main screen lit up with the image of an alien. It had iridescent blue scales, 4 eyes set in a wide face, and a mouth that seemed too small for speech. I am Commander Hyun of the Imperial Defense Force, the alien said, its voice translated by the computer. You have entered sovereign territory of the Stellar Empire. Explain your presence immediately. Park stepped forward where the alien could see her. I am Commander Park of the Earth Alliance vessel Defiant. We entered your space by accident when we encountered an anomaly. We seek peaceful contact and the chance to return home. Hyun's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Your vessel's capabilities exceed anything in our records. Are you the first wave of an invasion force? No, Park said firmly. We are explorers who got lost. We have no hostile intent. Before Hyun could respond, alarms sounded on both ships. Commander, shouted Lee. One of their vessels is powering. Weapons. Park kept her eyes on Hyun. We don't want conflict. Please control your forces. That ship is acting without orders, Hyun said, suddenly looking worried. A bright beam of energy shot from one of the smaller Imperial ships. It struck the Defiant's shields, which flared bright but held strong. The Defiant's automated defense systems activated. A pulse of energy shot out, disabling the attacking ship's weapons without destroying it. Hyun and the other Imperial commanders watched in shock. Their best weapons had done nothing, while the human ship had responded with precise measured force. Park looked at the stunned alien on screen. Now, she said calmly, shall we try talking again? 3 days had passed since the HSS Defiant first appeared in Imperial space. The initial shock was turning into fear throughout the Stellar Empire. Commander Park sat in her ready room, reviewing reports. The view screen on her wall showed the growing number of alien ships surrounding them. What had started as a dozen vessels had grown to over 100. A knock at her door interrupted her thoughts. Enter, she called. Lieutenant Kim stepped inside. His usual calm face now showed worry. The Imperial ships are moving again, he said. They've formed a tighter circle around us, and we're picking up heavy energy readings from their weapons. Park nodded. They're preparing for something. Let's not give them a reason to use those weapons. When Park returned to the bridge, Officer Yoon looked up from her communication station. Commander, I'm intercepting a lot of traffic between the Imperial ships. They're calling for reinforcements from something called the Grand Fleet. Security Chief Song frowned. That doesn't sound good. It's not, Park agreed. But remember, we're not at war. Not yet. Far away on the Imperial capital, Emperor Te faced growing pressure. His war council had been meeting for hours. The human ship has technology we don't understand, said Admiral June. Their shields absorbed our best weapons without damage. General Min slammed his fist on the table. That's Why we must strike now with everything we have, before more of them arrive. Science Minister Sue shook her head. The humans have shown restraint. They disabled the ship that attacked them but didn't destroy it. That shows peaceful intent. Or it shows they're studying our weaknesses, growled. General Mindot Emperor Tay raised his hand for silence. The room quieted immediately. Minister Sue, what have you learned from the data they shared? Sue touched a control, and images of Earth appeared in the center of the room. Beautiful blue oceans, green forests, and busy cities filled with humans. They call their homeworld Earth. Their species has existed for less time than our empire, yet they've developed technology along paths we never explored. They appear to be alone in their region of space. Master Han scoffed. Clever lies. The prophecies warn us. Enough about prophecies, said the Emperor. I want facts,